socks have been hanging around a bit too long now. I wonder who they belong to.
I'm better now. Mummy is nice. It's nice. It's nice. I'll be right back, okay?
When I was just a little girl, last birthday, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. I like working with children. Could be a future anything in that room, can't there? That's the great thing about it. It's like when you're at school, you could look at who might be the next Prime Minister and who could be the next Marilyn Monroe.
What were you like as a child?
I think I was cheeky and a little bit rebellious, rather than, you know, criminal.
If you'd have asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I'd have wanted to be a fairy or a mermaid.
I thought I wanted to be a hairdresser, but the odd occasion in high school when I've cut a friend's hair, it's probably a really good thing that I changed my mind, because I'm not very good at it.
I want to be a fireman, I think. Although I can't go up ladders, so that was out. And then a policeman, I think, the second one.
Truthfully, I wanted to be a car mechanic. The fact that I could come home absolutely head to toe in grease was my idea of heaven.
What were you like as a teenager?
God, you don't want to know. Awful. Yeah, I was quite wild.
Any stories?
Oh, no, probably not.
I was quite boring. I wasn't particularly wild. I didn't particularly rebel. You know, when I got to sort of 16, I started going out. And when I got to 17, started to notice a sort of ongoing headache. It's a weird thing to describe. I call it my tumour headache because I don't have really the words to describe it. Just sort of like a hot poker searing through your head. Just really quick, short bursts. And then it would go, and I'd think, OK, it was a bad hangover. But, yeah, it was way more than your average headache.
Sarah is 35.
Sorry, I'll stick it all in here. Sorry.
She's had a headache for the last 4 days.
OK. Oh, let me get that. Sorry. Not my day.
Let's get you sorted out, yeah?
OK, thank you. Thank you.
Sarah.
Hi.
Hello, my name's Ollie. I'm one of the A&E doctors. Tell me about the headache.
I'm sure it's nothing. I've had a virus, so maybe it's that. But I've had 3 brain tumours in the past. I was 17 when I had the first one. And then 3 years later, the second one. Well, it was the first one that recurred.
Why didn't you come in on Friday when the headache started?
I'm very much, I guess it's just the person that I am. I worry just in case it is something really bad, and stupidly I don't. With my second tumour, I knew for a good week that it was back. But I went as far as Heathrow Airport to go to Australia before.
Was it a little bit la 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 la?
Yeah. I've always been told it won't come back, and then it has 3 times and various complications.
That's fine.
And it's just this, yeah.
You are a VIP when it comes to head and brain-related concerns. My job is to assume the worst for everyone, all right? Doesn't necessarily mean anything to be worried about, but you're here, and you, with your track record, we have to assume the worst and hope for the best, all right?
Okay. When you're 17, you're almost untouchable. You don't feel that much can affect you.
Can I just put that on?
But you're all less aware of the reality of things.
It's just
guess we have a saying in our family, if it's unlikely to happen, it will happen to me. So, which is why my parents put on a brave face. I could see how distraught they were. You know, you as a parent, all you hope is that your children are healthy and happy. And when something goes wrong where they're not healthy, all you want to do is put yourself in their shoes and take it away from them and be the one going through it. And I guess as parents, they felt very helpless. And I could see that. So I sort of made a vow to myself then that I would do as much as I could to never let them know how I was feeling. I thought if there was something I could do for them, it would be to put on a brave face, put on a smile, and just not ever let them see how upset or how scared or how worried I was. Okay. Oh, right, okay. Excellent. Because I've spent so long, you know, pretending that everything's fine, everything's okay. It's sort of a role you become used to playing, and then it doesn't become a role anymore, it just becomes who you are and how you deal with things.
Do you want to have children?
Yeah, I'd love to have children.
Have you always wanted to have children?
Yes, I used to want to have 5 children. But I think my partner might have something to say about that one. He's probably slitting his wrists. As long as I get my little girl, then I'm all right.
Yes. It would have been quite nice to have had a girl. I think probably each time before they were born, if I'd been able to choose, I might have chosen to have a girl. But, you know, the whole thing to do with motherhood is often quite mixed emotions, isn't it? Here, why don't you sit down? Sit down, darling, sit down. Oh, precious love.
Helen is 47. She's brought in her 10-month-old son, James.
I have 2 boys already. Ben's 15, Joe's 12, but I think I always wanted a 3rd child. I think 3 is a nice number. But I think Mark, who is the boy's father, was not very keen, actually. So that was always a little bit of an issue. I think Mark and I split up, and then in due course Pat came along, and then it seemed to be the right time because he didn't have any children of his own, and he was, you know, very keen and very happy. But of course by then I was a bit older, so we thought that the IVF route would be the best one to take.
Do you want to come through?
Yes, that's lovely, thank you. Come along then, tiny man. James was conceived on the 3rd attempt. Shall we sit here?
I'm Ella.
Hello, I'm Helen.
Helen, hi. Are you mum?
Yes.
And what's the problem?
Well, the problem is that James has been vomiting since it's about 11 o'clock this morning. And normally I wouldn't be concerned, but he's got an absolutely horrendous medical history.
Sorry, let's just start with.
But he is a bit grumpy. Yes. The medical history is long.
Okay.
So,
start from the beginning.
Okay, he was born at 36 weeks, but I had preeclampsia and he only weighed 1.67 kilos. He had a hole in the heart and a multicystic kidney.
Okay, has that hole in the heart been repaired?
Yes, that's right, yeah. The whole pregnancy was terribly difficult from start to finish. Every time we had a scan, the room would fill up with all these experts, and that's never a good thing, is it really, in that circumstance? No. At 18 weeks, they realised that he had only 1 kidney. Then 2 or 3 weeks later, we had a detailed cardiac scan, which showed that he had a hole in his heart. I could have really written a textbook about abnormal pregnancies after that. So once James came out, I was really thinking, oh, that's going to be fine now, he's going to... I do tend to be on the optimistic side, and he came out, he looked normal. Obviously they took him straight away to special care. It was all good the first couple of weeks, really. And then suddenly, when he was about 2 weeks old, everything went completely pear-shaped because he was so tiny, his fetal circulation didn't switch over. Suddenly he was getting breathless, he was distressed. And then the consultant came to me and basically said that they believed that James wasn't going to make it, he was going to die quite soon. And I remember just walking in the corridor and tears just, they just pour down your face. And I met this really nice consultant, and I said to him, it looks like James is going to die, and he just gave me a big hug. And he said to me, where there's life, there's hope, and you have to believe that. And it's such a cliche, but you can't imagine how powerful that felt on that particular day. I'm sorry you don't feel good. By the end of that day, he was maintaining his blood pressure, and I look back on it, it's dreamlike. It was an experience that you don't forget. Are you a happy boy? Yeah, aren't you? So yes, with that history, you can imagine that I would be very, very protective. There was absolutely no way that I was taking any more chances with him. There you go. Poor little mannequin, you do look tired, don't you?
This is what I'm saying. The longer we stay in here, the more sick people are coming in here, bro.
Okay, what you needed to try and do is go to a hospital in Africa. You hate hospitals for the rest. You even set foot in the door. People were dying. I'm telling you,
Yeah, because you come from a different environment, innit? You come from here. When you come from here, it's different. When you're used to treatment here, where if you were born there, yeah, hospital is a hospital, bro.
I'm telling you. But then sometimes it's better to go in the hospital because we had the local, and he was literally a quack doctor. He was kicked out of his medical school.
Wow.
And he took out someone's tooth, with a chisel.
Hold on, what chisel are you talking about? Them
little,
chisel.
No, you know them. No, literally.
No, because we said chisel.
And then he tried to inject someone in the head. Literally.
Ain't that back in the day treatment, bro? No, bro.
When the doctors were next to the butchers, oh my God. And he even he killed someone. And they spared him.
I remember somebody saying about when he killed someone. And
he killed the lady at Kolikunda, and then they spared him because basically they don't have enough money to go to the hospital.
Mm.
So,
how did he kill her again?
He gave her a wrong injection, and her daughter was left without no mum. He was a quack doctor. I'd never let that man treat me. Never.
That's what I'm saying. I prefer the NHS.
Even if you're dying, bruv, go to the hospital.
No, I do. I prefer the NHS.
I don't want to bother people if it's not an emergency. I'm aware of how busy everyone always is in A&E, and I'll feel a bit silly if it's something very stupid or it's something not to worry about and I feel like I've wasted people's time. But my parents are more insistent than me, so it's usually after being strong-armed by them that I will go in.
Sarah's had a headache for the past 4 days. Since she was 17, she's had 3 brain tumours.
Something that I question more and more, I don't know whether it's the older I get or possibly the more side effects that occur, is I start to question my identity a lot. Am I the person that I was supposed to be or am meant to be? How much of me is the tumour and how much is the side effects of the tumour versus how much is inherently me? I don't know. Mo Mowlam had famously a brain tumour, and she was known as being very wild in politics and would do outrageous things, flashing her bra, and when she was told about her tumour and how it could affect behaviour and personality, it was the first time that she broke down, and she said, "But all this time I've thought that was me, and you're telling me it's just a product of the tumour." And that really, I suppose, struck a note in me. How much of who I am is defined by the illness, and how much of me is still me.
Keep your head nice and still. Look at my finger. Follow my finger with your eyes. Tell me if you get any blurring or double vision.
Tell me about Sarah. What was she like when she was a little girl?
She was a joker. She was the one, when we'd go away, suddenly started entertaining people by doing little dances and taking people off from the TV. She was, wasn't she?
She was. Yes.
Yes.
But very quiet. She was
yes,
very,
it's strange. Yeah, there's 2 opposites in her as well. Yes, shy as well.
Can you feel me touching on both sides?
Yeah.
Both sides.
Sarah, in some ways, is quite introvert and very deep. When she was younger, before she could speak, it would be hard to know exactly what she was thinking, and now it's sometimes hard to sort of get her to tell you really what's on her mind or what she's thinking.
All my tumour headaches have been frontal. This one was at the back.
All was at the back.
All at
of
the
the
back,
head.
yeah, and real throb, where I was holding my head.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, when it came on like that, how bad was it?
7, 8.
7, 8.
Yeah.
And what sort of tumour is it?
It was a benign pituitary tumour.
Pituitary. Okay, all right, fine.
I remember saying to a doctor, do what you want. Cut my head open, shave my hair off, put staples in my head. It doesn't bother me. My only thing is I want to be a mum. I desperately want to be a mum at some point, when the time is right. So I didn't want that jeopardised. Pituitary gland is the one that releases all the hormones, so yeah, it does affect your fertility. The damage done to it meant that it wasn't possible to naturally conceive. It's even worse because I've got a baby now and I just think I can't, you know.
And the baby's with?
My dad.
Okay.
He's never changed a nappy in his life.
How old's the baby?
He's 10 months.
Yeah, he's going to learn.
He's going to learn very quickly.
Okay, all right. This is not going to be an in and out of A&E in 4 hours type job. So your dad is going to have to get used to changing nappies relatively rapidly.
When you say it's not going to be an in and out job,
Don't
could
know
I
how.
be home tonight?
I don't know.
My dad can't cope for a night.
Okay.
Okay, I'll have to make some phone calls. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
These things never happen at convenient times.
It's just my baby.
It's your baby, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm fine, don't get teary.
No.
Right, okay. It was around a time which personally wasn't great for me. I was going through a lot of things. I had to move back home with my mum and dad.
Press 9 for an outside line.
Thank you very much. Hi, Dad. How is he? What time did he sleep till? Okay, all right. I'm not going to be in and out. It's not a quick job. May not even be back tonight. Well, again, until they do something, they don't know. But basically, with my, you know, if somebody forget my history, if someone had come in and said, this is what's happened, coughing fit, blah, 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 they would assume a small bleed at the back of the brain, like a blood vessel. It might not be, but that's what they would assume. He said, obviously, given my history, yeah. You know, my concerns pre-Elliot used to just be, well, you know, if something happens, then it happens and I'll deal with it. But the minute a child arrives, it suddenly changes your priorities and your perspective. But, yeah, you're going to have to get Kerry's help or something, Dad. Okay. Bye.
Is it worth even remotely trying to move it in any direction to try and ease it?
Do you think men ever really grow up?
No, not at all. Not at all.
You kind of imagine that there's a certain age where everything becomes simple and I remember thinking, you know, when I was like 13, I remember thinking, oh, those 16-year-olds, they've got it all sorted out. And I would get to 16, I would just think, and then I'd look at the 18-year-olds and it'd be all over again. I'm still doing it.
King's A&E. Yeah.
Outside a South London pub, a young man has been stabbed twice.
Some children are quite independent, so they can wander off and go off. He was very clingy as a child.
4, lovely. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Usually people who did meet him thought, oh, he's such a lovely boy, he's so polite and he's so this, which was very nice for me. But then, you know, when they turn into teenagers, they sort of change.
Red phone, 4 minutes. Red phone, 4 minutes.
Is everybody signed in that needs to sign in?
He changed so dramatically through those years. So we became more like strangers.
Hi everybody, this is Wayne. He's been stabbed twice in the left thigh. Done. Okay. Fucking hell. Hand back on. When we've arrived, there was one wound which is about 4 centimetres long and actively bleeding. There's a secondary wound which is about 1.5 centimetres, not actively bleeding.
Hi Wayne, my name's Emily, one of the doctors. I was going to check you out all over. Can I have a quick look under here? Just check this.
Turn your hand over this minute.
I've checked his pulse.
Doesn't matter what they've done and what you've gone through, you're always going to be protective about them. And here's something happening which you have absolutely no control over.
Well done.
So you're doing well done, mate.
Deep breaths, come on.
Just relax your hand for me, boss. Cheers, mate. You know, another sharp scratch.
I never thought I would have ever been stabbed. I remember saying, I never get stabbed. I never get stabbed. And it was like, wow, I have been stabbed, like.
Do you remember the first time you were arrested?
Yeah, I remember. What do you mean? As in, how do you want me to elaborate in that?
What happened?
Well, I remember I took something. I remember running down the road, running through the park. And then I hid, and I got caught hiding in the bin. And then I was in the cell, and I think I remember, I swear I cried, because I was like, oh no, what have I done? And then they said, you have to phone your mum. And I was like, do I have to phone my mum? Can I phone someone else? I don't want my mum to find out. And I'm thinking, did I phone my mum or did I phone my uncle? I'm not too sure. I think I might have phoned my uncle, and my uncle phoned my mum. But my mum found out anyway. And then that was it. It was like, oh, the shame, you know. I felt shamed, but it wasn't like, I don't know. What the problem was when I went back out with my friends, I got glorified for it, you know. It's like, wow, yeah, what happened, you know? You got nicked. Oh, they let you go. And it's like, wow, there's like, it became kind of cool. And obviously you're young and you're naive and you think, wow, okay, cool. You know, you were showing off like, yeah, you know. And then it became a habit. One thing I always said to my mum, don't ever blame yourself, because you haven't done anything wrong. It was down to me making my own choices. You know, she always gave me the choice to make. I knew right from wrong, to be honest with you. So you could never say it's down to my mum was a bad parent or anything like that. It was all down to me. I thought, that's it, I've got to do something now or never.
Precious babe.
10-month-old James has been vomiting since 11 a.m. His mum Helen has brought him in to pediatric A&E.
Hello. Oh, look at that smile. Very good.
James spent the first 13 weeks of his life in hospital.
When James was born, he was so tiny, and I just burst into tears when I saw him. I just felt this horrible sort of guilt that I've done this to you. It's all my fault, basically, that you haven't grown properly.
That doesn't help. Hang on a minute.
Oh, sorry. Hold my hand, darling. With that history, you can imagine that I would be very, very protective. And I think just a couple of months prior to that, he'd had another stomach bug, what I thought was a stomach bug, and I'd kept him on the sofa and looked after him and observed him. And in fact, it turned out to be a hernia, and in fact, he'd had to have further surgery. So I was, even more neurotic than usual. Let's hope it is a tummy bug. Are you going to have a vestibular? Yeah. Let's hope it is, sweetie. Yes. Lovely.
Okay,
Thank
I'll
you
keep
very
an eye
much. Well, we'll see you in a bit then.
Yep.
I guess we should phone Dada, shouldn't we, and tell him.
As a parent, all you want is for your children to be happy and healthy.
I'm just going to move you ever so slightly.
Okay.
Just keep very still there for me, Sarah.
Sarah's scan will show whether her brain tumour has returned.
All right, let's begin.
Now, I've always said in a weird way, I'm glad I was a person going through it.
Okay.
And not the person watching someone that I loved going through it, because I'm sure it must be 10 times more difficult.
Okay, do you want to chat with the man? Here he is. Talk to Daddy. Say hi to Daddy. That's Daddy. I think that was the first time we'd ever been to hospital and it hadn't been something serious. It was, it was really the beginning of not having to worry about him and really the beginning of treating him like a normal baby after everything that happened.
I know my mum, suffers a lot from her nerves, I suppose, because as a mother, it hasn't just happened once. You have one tumour and then you're told it's gone, and then it comes back a second time, and then you're told it's gone, and then it comes back a third time and you're told it's gone. Well, you're always expecting the worst. And I think that's what my mum does now. Even when things are going great, there's always part of her that is expecting something bad. You know, and I think that's the damage that it's left behind.
My feeling at the time was we must be in the best hands. They know exactly what to do. But the first operation didn't go too well because he told us that it was terribly vascular and it bled quite a lot, so he removed what he could. And obviously it came back. And that second time, they operated again, but this time was a huge operation whereby a skull was open and it was horrendous. It was so frightening, so frightening. And she was very lucky to make it, very lucky. And it came back again. It was as if we were going through a nightmare that would never stop. That poor girl.
Do you think there'll ever be a time when you won't worry about Sarah's health?
No.
Not for me.
I read an email that my mum had written to someone once, and it was after the second operation. And she said, "What have I done? What have I allowed them to do to my daughter?" And it's just that horrible moment of clarity, thinking she blames herself. And, you know, she was nothing but amazing and wonderful, but she still blamed herself. So it's, yeah, I'm fine. It's okay. It's not a problem. It's partly lying to myself and partly lying to other people. You know, it's not wanting to face if it is back or if something has happened again. Especially now that I am a mum, I just, the thought of going through it again whilst I have Elliot is sort of 100 times more scary.
So what was you doing tonight?
I was watching the Arsenal game.
Did they win?
Watching the Arsenal game, and we came back 3-0, but we never won.
Oh. So a double downer, eh?
Any questions?
Why is it possible to my partner stay with me for the night?
No. They don't allow it.
She's not going to be in a good mind right now.
So anyone she can be with?
Wayne, a 28-year-old glazer, has been brought in after being stabbed twice in his leg.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a tetanus injection. All right? So we've covered everything, just as a precaution, all right?
My girlfriend phoned me and she was like, "Oh, where are you?" And I said to her, "I'm in the pub with my friends." She parked up around the corner from the pub. She came in, I think me and my friends had one more drink or so, and then we left to go to the car where she was parked. It was like down the side of a street. We got into the car. I remember the doors closed, the doors opened back up. And there was a group of guys all around the car. They waved the gun at my girlfriend. They grabbed my girlfriend's bag. I tried to remember holding it, and then one of them hit me in my face. And I got punched on my leg twice. Well, I thought it was a punch anyway. And then it happened very quick, and then they just ran off. And I remember trying to get out of the car and trying to chase them, and I couldn't run. And I put my hand on my leg like it was like a dead leg. And then as I looked at my hand, there was just blood all over my hand. And then that's when I realized I got stabbed. I felt sad, you know, knowing that, you know, I felt sad for them as well, because it made me think, you know, you achieved one thing, a mobile phone, and there was at least 5 of you, you know, like, what's that, £10 each? Like, you know, like, I would never have done something like that in my bad times, but at the same time, it's that how far we've come. It was kind of sad to know that, you know, people going around stabbing people on random sprees, like, maybe it's the initiation of a gang or something like that, I don't know, but I did feel sorry for them, and I felt saddened, if you understand, you know, knowing that I could have been heading in that path.
came in with more rolls than you had to start off with, eh?
More stabs from us than from anyone else.
I don't know who's worse, you or the bad guys.
Yeah. You have to put up with us as well.
I got to about age of 24 and I realised, you know, like, enough is enough. Excuse me, man. Thank you very much, man. It's all right. Thank you for your help. You look after yourself, all right? Yeah, I was sitting in the police cell. I remember even looking up at the ceiling and seeing a Crime Stoppers number and thinking I've read that number too many times and this is not it no more, you know. I'm sick and tired of this. And the police officer saying, "Hello, Mr. Marisha, how are you doing today?" Didn't want any of that no more, to be honest with you. I thought, you know, try and start a new, fresh start.
So many people do this revolving door thing, keep getting in trouble, out of trouble, in trouble. And I think he somehow managed to catch himself and say that, you know, I don't need to be doing this anymore. Although it took time, he found himself, I think.
Sure you're right.
It was all a blur to me.
Yeah,
like,
that's
talking
what
to the lady, like, I
can't
didn't
really
know
remember
what,
it anymore.
what they asking me,
Yeah,
like,
but
what
as
it looked like.
as long as you're okay, that's all I care.
He took positive steps, you know. Went back to college, did some courses so that he gained some skills, so that eventually when some work came along, he would be able to be, you know, ready to take on a career, really.
Yeah. I remember the day my mum said to me she's very proud of me. It almost made me cry. You know, it's like, wow. I remember I said to my friends, yeah, my mum said to me she was proud of me. You know, and it's like, it felt a lot, you know, to hear my mum say, you know, you've come a long way, you know. She let me make my own mistakes and it's made me who I am today, you know. It's made me a better person, you know. I might have gone through it the long way and it took me 10 years, you know, but it's got to that stage where, you know, I've learnt who I am.
Motherhood is good for learning about the sort of person that you are and what you can give as well, as a human being as well as a mother.
Hi, is that neuroradiology? I'm just trying to chase up a CT scan report for a head CT on a young lady that's come in with history very suspicious of a subarachnoid hemorrhage.
I think I pace when I'm worried. I was probably wondering what my dad was doing at home with my son and how he was going to change a nappy. I showed him very hurriedly before I left, but it was still crossing my mind. I mean, as a mum, you do, don't you? And you just worry anyway. And I'm always with Elliot, so to not be with him was very strange, and I just didn't like it.
OK. Thanks a lot. Cheers, bye. Good news and bad news.
OK.
The good news is the scan doesn't show anything apart from the old, what's happened in the past. The bad news is that means that we need to speak to the medical team about thinking about doing a lumbar puncture.
They're supposed to be painful, I know that. As in, if there is just nothing wrong, is it still worth doing a lumbar puncture to prove that there's nothing wrong?
The scan doesn't pick up all bleeds.
Right. OK.
All right. But as I say, a negative scan is good news, yeah? Yes. It's just going down the boxes, ticking them off, all right? Okay. First box is ticked, right. The next box, unfortunately, is a fairly big box, which is lumbar puncture, but we need to decide whether or not we do need to go down that route. All right?
All right. Cheers. I'd happily give up all the bad health for a life of good health. But then, in a way, it has made me who I am. If it hadn't happened, would I have my son? I might have other children, but I wouldn't have Elliot. So, in a way, I wouldn't change things.
It's in the hands of the doctors and in the hands of God. If you believe in God, all we can do is hope that we'll be lucky and that she gets the best doctors and the best medical care, and they can sort out the things that are wrong with her and keep her alive. That's, what else can we say, really? We can just be here to pick up the pieces if
I just sense she'll be all right. She will be all right.
Yep.
I believe that little Elliot has brought her a lot of strength.
Tell me about Elliot. What's he like?
He's just everything. He's everything to me. I can't imagine not having him. I can't imagine what my life was without him. I remember coming back from the hospital with him, and it still doesn't feel like it's real. I still kept thinking at any moment I was going to have him snatched away or wake up from the most amazing dream and be told that it wasn't real. You know, it's just so much more precious when you've had to fight for it. So yeah, having come so far to have got him and then for something to happen would be awful. And I know if something happened, it wouldn't be through fighting, because I would fight the whole way. Just want to do the best job I can, be a good mum, do right by him.
I never really had my dad in my life. Not saying that he's not in my life, but growing up, I don't really have any memories of him being in my life. So I'm going to make sure that my child has me until the day I pass away. You know, guide her through all the hard times, bad times, support, best friend, everything. Yeah. So that's what I will try to be. I'll try my best. That's all you can do, really.
It will be absolutely fine.
Yeah, there's a lot of room for optimism, and I think you have to make the most of what you've got today and dream about the future. I think that's what makes humans the way we are, that you live for the future as well as today.
And you need to dream.
Yeah, you do. Dream. Everyone needs a dream.
Yes.
I dream about Kate Bush, but there you go.
We get a lot of falls, people climbing trees, being stupid, people being drunk, falling out of windows.
I've only ever been in that sort of state like once, maybe twice.
He says he's got a knife on him and he's been really aggressive to us. I've just called the police.
Do you know where you are?
My guess is a hospital.
Yeah.
Thank you.